Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility. We're in a mini-series talking about time management. If you are a small business owner and you're struggling to figure out, how do I spend my time? Do I do this or do I do this? I have all these messages coming in, these emails, text messages, phone calls. My employees need my time. Everybody needs my time and there's not enough of it. This is for you. Go back and watch some of the previous episodes. We've got a few more coming up. This is powerful because we are going in to the strategies that work, especially for someone like 30% of small business owners have ADD, ADHD. These strategies really work if that's you. So today we're talking about something that is so basic and yet so powerful. And I think that the best way to describe it is what matters to you at the end of the day. And we talked a little bit about this in the previous episode, but again, what matters to you? What is your priority? Now, it's easy to say, taking care of my family. Yeah, that's my priority, okay? That's one. Or doing a good job with my work, that's a priority. Great. Those are big, grandiose things. How do you break that down from the big, kind of nebulous goal of taking care of my family to the small incremental steps that you're supposed to do every day? And then how do you fit that in comparison to there was a time I was actively managing, I think it was 23 different email accounts every day. Could you imagine that? Have you ever had 23 different email accounts you were actively managing in one day, all day, every day, 7 days a week, basically? That's insanity. Back several years ago, I literally had taken, I think it was like 100 phone calls in a day, had meetings on top of that and emails. It was an insane day. I don't know how I was functioning back then. And yet I thought I was being efficient with my time, but my time was grinding me to powder. So here's what I've discovered. And I created a free resource. You can find it on smallbusinessbigvisibility.com. We have a whole free resource section, but I call it the Priorities Power Plan. And oftentimes, as a small business owner, we have all these different things in our brain. And sometimes you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, stressing, and you don't even know why you're waking up. But your body is so knotted up, so filled with problems and frustrations and this issue and that thing and this issue and that it's just like rolling inside your head, sometimes at the subconscious level, and you don't even know. So go and print this off. Then you're going to brain dump. That's the first step. Write everything down. Everything. It doesn't matter if it pops in your brain, you write it down. Then you're going to take that and you're going to look at all the items you have. And the first time you do this, it's a lot more difficult than after you've done it 3, 4, 5 times even. Because if you bake this into part of your daily routine, pretty soon you've gotten all that stuff out of your brain and it doesn't fill up as fast. You've probably accumulated months or years worth of stress, frustrations, problems, issues that you haven't dealt with that need to get out of your brain onto paper. Just the act of writing it down is a major relief for you. You're going to be shocked at how great that feels. But now, once you write it down, you can start looking at those items and you can say, okay, do any of those just truly don't matter at all? Yeah, toss them out. Okay, thanks. I don't need to worry about those items. Now, from the remaining items, you can now look at them. Are these urgent? And I define urgent as this is a problem that has to be addressed in the very short period of time. Maybe like paying your gas bill. That's urgent. If you don't pay your gas bill, then they start tacking fees on it. And on top of tacking fees, you eventually get your gas shut off. And if you don't have gas, you don't heat your home maybe. That's urgent. Take care of that one kind of a thing, right? So you start marking urgent, 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 urgent. Then next to those, you go through your list and you look at the important items. Important means it's going to move you closer to your goals that you have. Does paying the gas bill really directly move you closer to your goals? Probably not in a substantial way. It's kind of busy work level of stuff. Like it has to get done. Someone's got to do it, but it probably doesn't have to be you. And if it gets done, great. And if you don't have to do it, great as well. So what are the important items, the things that are going to move you towards the big vision of who you are as a person, like taking care of my family or having an impact on community or whatever it is? What are those items that move you towards that in a substantial way? Those are important. Now what you've done by marking urgent and important next to all of your items, you've now categorized into one of 4 buckets. One bucket is both urgent and important. Those need to get done right away and probably you should do it. Then there's important but not urgent. Those don't have to be done right away. You can schedule them into your calendar later, and we're going to talk more about that in a future episode. Again, urgent and important, you're going to take care of those right away. You've got the important but not urgent. Those need to be scheduled out for you probably to take care of. Then you've got the urgent but not important probably someone else can take care of some of those for you. And then you have the not urgent, not important. Those items, you can say, hey, I'll just keep this list of not urgent, not important stuff, and someday maybe I'll come back to it. How would that impact your life if you did that kind of an exercise every single day? Pretty soon, you would narrow down, and maybe you have 100 items on your list the first time, and you just start working through that list, and you can start organizing. We'll talk more about how you organize that in future episodes, so be sure to tune in. But you take that list and you just start working through it, and you're checking things off. You're going to check them off faster than they're going to show back up on your list. So in a very short amount of time, you can delegate, which we talked how to delegate in a previous video, so go watch that. You can start delegating some of those items off your list. You can start scheduling them, which we'll talk more about that in another episode. You can start getting some of those done. And at the end of the day, you got this sheet of paper, you're like, holy Toledo, folks. I went from having 100 items, I cleared off 30 items my first day. If we continued at that rate, and maybe you clear off 30 items a day and only 10 more show back up, before you know it, your list goes from 100 down to just a few. How freeing would that be for your mental capacity if you were not trying to mentally juggle 100 items in your brain? That alone is going to make you more efficient in your work, which means it takes less time to get stuff done, which means you have more time to get stuff done, which means you're checking more items off your list, which means you're moving closer to those big vision goals, all because you spent a little bit of time to write a few things down and organize it by urgent and important. This really works. I'm excited to hear how it works for you. Go download the free resource from smallbusinessbigvisibility.com. Be sure to watch the other episodes within this mini-series on time management, and I'd love to get feedback from you on how this works and the changes and impacts it's having on your life.